Alrighty, guys, welcome to tonight's charting session. Hopefully, everybody is doing well. It is Monday, November 13th. So we'll kind of go over everything today. I did not go live today. Again, no news Monday. You can tell by the action. I said going into today, be extra careful if you're going to trade. If you are going to trade, make sure to lower your size, right? Do not, in the morning, I literally sent out a message. I said, do not dig the hole for yourself the first day of the week. Do not dig a hole to set yourself up for failure the rest of the week. So going into this morning, I will say this day, we will go over this, is an attest to the mistakes that I make as well. Now, when I make mistakes, I try to keep the mistakes that they're not gonna burn me. And I'm fine with making mistakes when I realize they're mistakes because I can keep them small and I can test how I behave. So today was one of those days where I shouldn't have. What's the word I'm looking for? I'll just say this. I know when to step away, and today was one of those days where I didn't step away when I should have. And we'll go into this. So going into the day, planned on, again, not really taking a trade. A lot of the times when we do have no news Mondays, I'll watch the market, and if there is something that I like, I'll take it with low size. So again, first thing that's good is I took pretty much fair size pretty much the entire day. If I did enter more contracts, which I did in a trade later on in the day, we'll go over that one. I did scale into the position, so I did pyramid into an entry, and then I ended up getting stopped at break even. So again, that's fine. If I'm going to scale into a full position, as long as I have good risk and I move my stop and I trail it, I'm totally fine with that because I'm not risking more, right? I'm keeping the same risk and moving my stop along the way. So that's number one. So going into the day, again, what we talked about last night, pretty much the exact same bias that we talked about last night is what happened today. I said that I wanted to see this 1 hour fair value gap as well as that daily inverse fair value gap that we had here. I wanted to see us come back into this, hold this area as this inverse and as this 1 hour fair value gap, and then look to see a bounce higher to see if we could get any sort of opportunity for longs. That was my kind of bias going into the day. And again, going into a no news Monday, what am I expecting? I'm expecting to see slow, consolidative action, not efficient markets. You have to keep that in mind. When I said going into the day, Mondays with no news are always, most of the time, no trading days or low size days for me. So going into the day, I did have a bullish bias. We came into the 1 hour fair value gap. Again, we swept this recent low that we had. In the morning, I was bearish right here until this low was taken. We did come up. We rejected the bigger time frame imbalance that was up here. And then we ended up selling off. Again, displacement, drawn liquidity became these equal lows down here. Once we took this and once this fair value gap got ran through, I'm confident that we now go higher probably to the recent high. So the first trade I took in the morning was actually just a little bit of a scalp. Again, super kind of slow, choppy action here in the morning. Moved our way up. I was pretty confident that NQ was most likely just going to have an expansion move to take this high. So again, that was really the only thing I was looking for. Again, I was trading, I think, like two or three contracts at the time and risking a couple $100. What the hell? Why did the session just end? I'm not sure what happened there, but let me keep going. So overall draw, right, being this high, we had this displacement up. Again, once the bigger time frame imbalance got ran through, I was confident that we're going to take this high. So I zoomed out. Looking at the 5 minute, I noticed we had a nice kind of order block here that we were continuing to hold. We got above this level, continuing to hold. Once I saw us continue to hold on the 5 minute, I was just zooming in and sort of watching price action. I didn't even really plan to take a trade, but I did see what I wanted to see, which was 1 minute fair value gap. Again, continuing to hold. Once I got displacement up, I saw that we created an imbalance. I jumped in a little bit of a long position right here, and then I got a pretty straight up move to that high. And that was pretty much the first trade I took at the day. And at this point in time, I was up around 1,000, like 980 or something. And then at this point in time, I pretty much kind of walked away and I didn't check the market for a little bit after that. So then after this, again, this action on the 1 minute, awful. It looks awful. Big move up, big move down, big move up, big move down, up, down. It's just, there's nothing really showing me here of what we want to do. So now we end up coming up, taking this internal draw. And at this point in time, I zoom out to the 1 hour, and this looks super, super bullish to me. And again, I still think this looks bullish. Looking at ES at the time, We came up and we did take this area. So we did have a bearish SMT here. Keep this in mind. NQ ended up coming up, taking this internal high. ES, ended up coming and taking this external high. So we had a bearish SMT, but a lot of the times I really wasn't expecting this bearish SMT to make us sell off a lot. Because I believe that we're super, super bullish. I believe since we've now gotten above this daily inverse fair value gap, we should shoot straight up to this high here. So that's what I'm expecting going into tomorrow. We'll get into that a little bit later. But I'm expecting, again, us to hold this area and continue higher in the next coming days. So that was what I was looking for. I wasn't really concerned about this little internal SMT. I was aware of it, though, right? I was aware of it. So what I was looking for is this 1 hour inverse fair value gap. Now that we've swept this internal level, we've now ran this 1 hour inverse fair value gap. I was expecting us to come down, respect this 1 hour inverse, which we still are right now, and then look to get bought up to the recent high and then to this external high. So then zooming into the 15-minute, we ended up coming down and ended up consolidating in this area. Now, next trade I took, probably shouldn't have taken. The only reason why I took this trade is because I thought I had everything I needed to see, but in reality, I really didn't. And the reason I say that is because, wait, let me zoom out here and show you the imbalance. So here we go. The reason I took this trade, the second trade, bias for this, came down to the inverse fair value gap. You might be saying, oh my God, Justin, stop rate. But we did have this SMT here. So the reason I entered this is because I thought I had everything I needed to see. At the time, ES ended up coming down, which was right here. And we ended up forming an SMT at these lows. So once NQ had the hesitation to go lower, and we ended up getting this nice displacement move, we had SMT at the lows. We got this again. This isn't a bad long, but it's not a great long, right? It's not a great long. So I ended up entering long. Again, one thing that would have made this better too is if we didn't take this high. Keep that in mind. We did end up coming up, sweeping this high, and then I entered. So it would have been a lot better if I entered before this high got taken. So it's a little bit lower quality by that as well. But we did have relative equal highs, so I was looking to see us get bought up anyway. This ended up getting ran through. I got stopped out on this, giving back some profits. Still up on the day around this point in time. And then we ended up selling off, flushing, and sweeping, finally, what I wanted to see, which was the original stop rate. And if anybody was in the chat earlier on in today, and I drew out that market maker buy and sell model, this was exactly what I was already looking for. As we were holding this, I was looking for this to be sell side of the curve, come down, have that manipulation at whatever the recent low was, and then have that displacement back up. So once we ended up coming back down, sweeping that internal sell side level, and then got a massive push up, right? Breaking structure to the upside. We had 2 5-minute fair value gaps here. This is pretty much everything I need. Now, this is a great trade. I'm totally fine taking this entry, right? We came back. The only thing that's lower quality about this trade is that this internal high is taken. But I'm not even really worried about that because I think we're so bullish and we're holding the 1 hour imbalance. I'm expecting this to get an expansion move up. And again, I truly believe any other fucking day, we most likely run to this 614 level. Almost any other day, I guarantee it. So today, we ended up pulling back into that 5-minute fair value gap, right? Again, and this is when it's like, okay, losses are okay. You're okay with taking losses if you're having good risk. But if you just decide not to trade Mondays in the first place, you won't even have to deal with this, right? And that's kind of the point I'm getting with Mondays, where it's like, some Mondays I do good, some Mondays, I take a small loss, whatever it is. But most of the time, if I go into a Monday and I take a trade and I'm up profits, that's it. That is it. And a lot of the times I've realized with Mondays is you might get a good setup the first 30 minutes, first hour of the market, and that's fine. If you make money on the first hour of the market on a Monday, close the fucking chart and don't look at it the rest of the day. Because a lot of the times we're just going to chop, we're going to fucking bait, it's awful it's terrible action. I hate Mondays. Absolutely hate Mondays. And me and DJ were in admin channel today, and we were just talking about how shitty today's action was. So second trade I took was on this 5-minute. Again, I don't want to give this a lot of risk. So again, keep in mind all of these trades on these next trades are all entered low size because again, I plan on scaling into these positions. I need more confirmation, and I'm taking that into account today as well. When going into a day like this, you should not be focused on, again, making money. I'm not going to squeeze out, I'm not going to do all these things. You should be focused on protecting yourself and playing defense, if not, just not trading in general. So when I do see a setup like this that looks good, I will enter super small size, which is 25% of my position size, right? 25%, maybe half. and then I'll look to scale in pyramid and entry once I get everything I need to see. But for this first stop out, I didn't get what I needed to see, which was he came down to the 5 minute. Again, stop here super tight. This stop does not invalidate this trade, but I'm accepting that I can get stopped on this trade, and then I'll look to re-enter back in if we do hold this imbalance, because we do have these two imbalances here. So I did enter in this first imbalance. We came down to the second one. I got stopped out, and at this point in time, I'm just watching. I'm just waiting to see if we hold this imbalance, and I'm looking to see if we get displacement back to the upside. Once we hold this imbalance, we get displacement back up. We form a 1 minute fair value gap. I enter in long, and I put my stop at these lows, and I'm looking to see us all the way come back up here. So at this point in time, I'm now looking to scale into a position here. The more confirmation I get, the more and more I'm looking to scale into a position and then move my stop along the way to try to juice out those profits, right? So I enter 25% of my position here. Again, super tight stop here. If I get stopped, I get stopped. I'm losing a couple $100. If not, I'm gonna look to keep adding. We break through the imbalance, the inverse. I'm waiting. We come back, hold the inverse. Once I see that we're holding the inverse, I add another contract right here, or I add my full position right here. So now my fill now gets moved to around here, I would say. My fill gets moved to around here. And then at this point in time, I then add another contract right here. So now I'm in a full position. I'm in 7 contracts at this point in time right now. And now my stop is moved to this low, which is my break even at this point in time. So my break even is this low, and I enter one more contract right here. So now this is the trade I'm taking on. This is my break even, and now if I win, I'm making probably $4,000, $3 to $4,000 on this trade now. But if I was to enter right here on my original position and I didn't add to this, even if I'm making more on this trade, or if I'm making it's a bigger move, I'm still not making more money just from catching a bigger move, right? So unfortunately, again, only on a fucking Monday will you see this shit. 1.25 ticks. 1.25 ticks away from taking buy side. Again, there is no other day where we should see a lot higher. We should see a breakout move here, right? Any other day, you will see a move here. So the last trade I took, I scaled in 3 different times, moved my stop 3 different times, 1 tick off of my PT. Again, you might say, oh my God, Justin, why didn't you scale? I think that's completely hindsight. I had confidence and a conviction in this trade. We should break out any other day we break out in this trade. I'm not even worried about that. And then we ended up selling off, and I got stopped at break even on this trade and ending the day down. So again, it happens. Did I go into the day and I follow my rules? For the most part, yeah. Could I have stepped away after the first trade? Absolutely, right? Am I upset with these last couple trades? I'm upset that I didn't. Again, it's always upsetting if my PT didn't get hit, but I followed exactly what I needed to follow, right? And the way that what I want to get out of days like this is the inexperienced and the people who are trying to make money on days like this will get absolutely fucking burned. How many people traded today and got chopped up? How many people took way more trades than they decided or planned on taking today? If you stayed away, that's great. But I know a lot of you did the same thing. Now, what I want to get out of today and kind of what I want to get out of this session is multiple things. Number one, we're just solidifying our knowledge of not trading Mondays. Every single time we take a Monday. Now, I know last 3 Mondays have actually been great. The last 3 Mondays that we've had have actually, I've banked on the last 3 Mondays. And this would have been a bank as well if this didn't get stopped out. So I guess I can't really say that. But the action is just so bad. It's not worth trading this action, especially when you are the first day into the week. You got 4 more fucking days of good action, good news, right? Let Monday set us up for the rest of the week. So from here on out, these are the rules I'm setting for myself. If it is a no news Monday, I will watch the market. If I do take a trade, it will be 1 contract, 1 to 2 contracts. That is it. So I'm lowering my size on Mondays even more, just to be even more safe. And I didn't even get burned like today. I really didn't even get, like, I lost $1,000, right? But again, compared to my winning days, you'll guys see me. I'm at least making 4,000, 5,000, probably upwards 8, 10, right? Well, I'm fine with losing 1K because I followed all of my rules that I needed to, right? But what I'm noticing is just there's not even again, as a trader who's somebody who wants to constantly keep improving their trading, I'm always taking these days into account. I'm always reflecting and looking back saying, okay, I've now had these Mondays, right? Normally when we have no news Mondays, we don't go live together because, first of all, when we go live, I don't want people to even take trades. People were upset that I didn't alert in the chat today the trades that I took, and there's a reason for that. I am not going to alert days where I tell you it is a low probable condition. It is up to you whether you want to make that decision or not. I am not going to alert those trades and get people to fucking over leverage into those trades without any context whatsoever, especially when I'm not even on live, just for them to get chopped up, right? So I'm not doing that shit. I'm not spoon feeding. I will do it if we were on live together, but I'm not alerting trades on a lower condition day just so because again, I know you guys will get hurt from it. So I'm not going to do that. So again, today's one of those days where it happens. It's unfortunate. Again, another day at the fucking office. That's really all it is. It's another day at the office. I came into the day, followed most of my rules, and having a small loss in the day. That's it, right? Now, if you didn't do those things going into the day, if you over-leveraged, if you over-traded, then of course you're going to probably end up getting burnt today. But even if you over-leveraged this, or even if you over-traded, showing how important risk is, showing how important it is when to step away. Because guess what? How many people, and don't lie to yourself, don't fucking lie to yourself, because I know a lot of people would. And trust me, I was close too. You can ask DJ, I was close. After this trade of being up $4,000 right here and then getting stopped at break even and being down on the day, how many of you would try to take another trade after that? It's hard. A lot. A lot of you would. And trust me, I was close to as well. Because again, when I'm up 4K, well, not realized, but when I'm up 4K on this position and I'm one tick away from getting, being up 3K, 4K on the day, and I get stopped at break even, I don't want to accept that. I want to be like, dude, there's no way I'm going to allow myself to be red on the day, blah, 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 blah. And you want to know why that is such a dangerous mindset is because it's such an internal mindset. I'm focused on right now. That is it. And that's you can't do that. Again, you have to zoom out in perspective of your journey. If you are a trader and you are going into the day and you are affected by one aspect in a 20-minute time period, and you are going to let a 20-minute time period affect your trading for the next month, because again, who knows? I could go on tilt and go take another 10 contract trade, 20 contract, take 10 more trades after this and then blow up another 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K, if not more, and then ruin all the progress that I've had for the last week or month. And again, I know a lot of you motherfuckers have done that, and trust me, I've done it countless times before when I didn't know what I was doing. So today's one of those days where I come into the market, recognize it, followed my rules, took good setups, right? Any other setups, if it was any other day, I would have taken pretty much the same setups as I normally would, right? Which is good. I scaled into a position. I had good risk. I trailed my stop. Again, and I missed out on my PT didn't get hit by 1 point. Again, it happens. But I'm not going to let that spiral. I am not going to let that happen and make me spiral into another trade and make me lose more on the day. Again, my ego, you have to push your ego to the side. And one thing as well is don't care about win streaks. Again, I'll say like, oh my God, I've had one red day in the last 20 days. Guess what? I've had 2 red days now. I'm not going to let that be like, oh my God, I have to keep my green streak. Let me take a couple extra trades so I can keep my green streak so it looks good on social media. Again, that's not who I am. You guys know I care about being a good fucking trader, unlike a lot of other people in this space. I'm not going to allow myself to go on tilt to make that bad of a decision to ruin my trading, right? Again, there's a difference between wanting to be perceived as a good trader and actually being a good trader. So today's one of those days. I will take that loss gladly because I knew exactly what I needed to do. And when you start thinking in the headspace of that, whether you lost or you won, did you do everything you needed to do? And guess what? If you come to me and said, Justin, I'm down on the day, but look at this trade. I had a lot of conviction here. I had good risk management. I followed my stop loss, and then I stepped away when I needed to. I'm going to say, dude, guess what? You might have lost today, but you're winning. You are fucking winning. Trust me. And again, one day does not mean shit in your journey. Okay? There's always going to be tomorrow. We still got a whole fucking week ahead of us, guys. Whole week. So I'm not upset about this day, but I just wanted to go over and talk about, first thing, no news Mondays. Off the fucking board now. I'm hoping the more that you guys see us Mondays, and you guys like, Justin, why don't you trade Mondays? Why don't you trade? I'm hoping that you can see the relation to action between days that we are on live together and days that I decide not to trade, right? And take this into account and use that to yourself. Ask yourself, is it even worth trading today based off of the experience that I've seen in the past about Mondays or FOMC, whatever it is, right? Make that decision for yourself. So those were the trades that I took today. I'm down around $1,000 on the day. Gave back some profits again. Would have been up around $3K if that trade would have hit. But again, it happens, right? I'm not upset about it. It's just another day at the office. So after that, let's talk about what we're looking at going into tomorrow as well. Actually, any questions on those trades first? Any questions with those trades? And also any trades that you guys taken as well today that you want me to look over? Was this also lower quality since the retracement after the 1 hour fair value gap wasn't in discount? Went in with half size, added to the 1 minute pullback, most of the most recent highs since it was Monday. Again, yeah, this is great, bro. This is a good trade. And again, another thing too. This made me realize when we are trading days like this that are choppy, it's always good to scale at highs. It always is good to scale at internal levels because you don't know how we're going to react. It's always good to scale at internal levels. Because again, this is the kind of day where it's like, even if the external draws here, again, any other day when price is efficient, we'll go to this high, right? But you'll see we come to this high and then we end up selling off. And on days when we don't have efficient markets, you'll see this happen, is liquidity will just be teased. So again, that looks great. Good takeoff. Again, good risk on the second contract. You scaled out, let your second PT go. Didn't get hit, stopped at break even. Again, this looks great. Good risk, good management, everything. Yep, this looks good too. Again, any longs in this range would have been, again, price action looks awful, but just based off of structure and based off of the model here, any sort of longs up until this early high here and up until this imbalance would have been nice. I took this long this morning on ES. What do you think? Micros, not minis, by the way. Thoughts on the way I scaled in? Yeah, I love this trade. Again, exactly what I would normally look for. SMT low got taken, imbalance got ran through. You take the imbalance for the entry. Yeah, 12 out here again. What I would normally do: take off most here, let the runner go to the recent high. This looks great. Where did you scale? Did you scale? I'm trying to figure out where. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this looks great. Looks fine. This was good too. Whoever I was actually pretty close. I almost took this short, but I didn't. I was just kind of watching it. This was great. I like this short as well. In the morning, I was actually watching this. I was going to take this, but I didn't. But yeah, ES came into this imbalance. We didn't take that low. SMT, displacement, imbalance. Again, this is A+. Nice. Took this short. Thoughts? Again, no. Again, shorts are off the table here. Notice you haven't had any displacement below any sort of low. One thing about shorts today, guys, of the reason why I didn't like any shorts and why I was way more. People were like, Justin, why are you bullish after we just took this internal high here, right? Why are we bullish here? Because we haven't had any displacement through any low on ES or NQ. Notice when we are looking to take shorts, what is the things that I need to see? Buy side swept. Okay, buy side's been swept, but what have I not seen? Displacement through a swing low. None of these lows, right? We gotta move down here, but that's not enough. That's not enough for me to see. Again, I zoom out. I need to see. I'm too zoomed in here. Now I'm like, okay, now we have, a low here. So this is the first low we put in. Do we displace through this low? Not at all. We sweep it, bounce. New low. Sweep it, bounce. New low, sweep it, bounce. There's no displacement through any lows here. This is a clean broadening formation for us to just gather liquidity and then bounce. So I don't like any shorts here. Again, especially when we're coming back into a unicorn entry, which is a 1 hour fair value gap and a bigger time frame breaker block. We have a 30-minute breaker block and an imbalance here. You should be taking no shorts in this area. Too much bullish confluence in the way. Hey, you got a sniping demon. I'm glad to have you here, brother, and keep learning with us. I journal it. Can you let me know if this was buy side? I would appreciate if you look at this and let me know if the doc structure is valid. Been doing since I joined the Discord in the summer. Let's check it. All right, 15-minute. Love it, bro. Love it. Love to see it. Beautiful, bro. Yep. Again, this is the same high that I targeted when I was in those longs as well. Love the journaling, brother. Again, you got the check off of everything you need to see too. Love it. Emotions. Recognize your emotion during the trade. Take profits. Beautiful, bro. This. If you do this for the next 3 months, every single day, you're gonna be a completely different trader. Valid trade. Yep. Again, I said anything in this area after that first imbalance got ran through for longs would have been nice. This is a little bit too early for me. I wouldn't have taken longs here. Again, this is there's no displacement through a swing high here yet, so I wouldn't have taken a long here. Again, in this point, there's no high on the left that have gotten broken through, so I'm only looking to take longs once this high gets broken through. Anything before this is too early, in my opinion. You don't have enough structure. Yep, this looks good as well. Again, love the scaling in the position, adding, moving, stop, hopefully along the way. Took this trade today this morning. I was thinking about scaling in, but I didn't want to be early or too late. Where do you think I could have? Wait, was thinking about scaling in, but I didn't want to be early. Okay, let's see. Again, nice add here. If I'm looking to add, I would enter here. Once we get this displacement, I'll move my stop to this low. And then from there, you can look to add in other imbalances. So another imbalance right here, you could look to add there and then move your stop up again even more. And then move your stop up, move your stop again. See, when we have efficient action, which again, 30 minutes of the day and then the rest of it's shitty, we'll get clean moves to the draw, and that's when it's the best to scale into a position. For clarification, I waited for closure of 5-minute fair value gap first before entering and trailed my stop loss after the middle buy side had been taken. And please question about this trade too. I took it off a few points earlier because bearish SMT had formed on a higher time frame. I would have made like 250 more if I held for the next couple of minutes. But if it goes straight to my SL, I'd be at 0 instead of up 1,000. Do you consider the decision as a good one or a bad one? That's a great question. I don't think it's a bad decision. Again, if you see an SMT, if you are happy with what it is, now again, what I do think this decision is whenever we have an SMT, the only times that I will, now you guys have seen me close my position early when we have an SMT, but the only times that I close an SMT is when it's not in favor of the draw. Now, the reason why I would be okay, again, the reason why I wasn't worried about an SMT, the reason why I wasn't even worried about this SMT, this massive SMT here, is because it's not in favor of the draw, right? If I'm playing counter trend, then if it's an SMT, I'm out because I know that we're most likely going to bounce. But since this is counter trend, right, which is mean we're most likely going up anyway because we're going up, this SMT is a lot weaker. So I'm not more worried about this bearish SMT because it's not in favor of the draw, right? We've had everything we want to see to go lower. There's no reason for us to go lower since we've swept sell side. We're bouncing off a 1 hour. This internal SMT doesn't really, it's not going to be as strong, and I'm not as worried about it since the external draw is higher. Now, if the external draw is lower, then I'm absolutely taking off. If I see ES take this high, it's always a good idea to take off that position. So hopefully that answered your question. So was it a bad decision? No, not at all. But be able to recognize when it's more likely or when it's better to take it off when you see an SMT versus when it's most likely going to get ran through. Yep, looks good, Josh. I took this entry. I think it was a good setup. Thanks. It's okay. Again, it's okay. It's not bad at all, actually. It's not bad. If this is your entry and this is your PT, then it's okay. But if I'm looking to take a short here, I'm probably looking to take it like here. I'm not really looking to slap shorts here until we get the displacement back down out of this. But just, again, the action today is so bad, guys. Recommend we upgrade TradingView to get 50-second for entries. Again, you don't need the 15-second, but I like trading the 50-second. Too tight of SL, question mark? No. I like this stop, but if I'm you, I get stopped and then I re-entered. Like re-enter here. Again, once you see this stop and once, again, all of these wicks here, once this candle comes in, I'm immediately jumping back in long. So it's, again, it's all, you guys have to realize your stops and my stops are different because we have two different, completely different plans. That is why I don't like people randomly taking my trades without having a plan of their own. If I'm taking the exact same trade as you, there's still a reason. You ever wonder how I can make money on a trade and yet you take the exact same trade as me and maybe lose money? It's because we have two completely different plans. My plan is here. If I'm going to take this trade, let's say we take the first entry. I plan on entering here with a tight stop. If I get stopped, I'm losing small amount. But if I move my stop down here and I get stopped, I'm losing a way bigger amount. So the plan that I would much rather have is have a tight stop. If I get stopped out, I'll just re-enter this trade and have my stop again at the low once I get more confirmation. So I'm still catching this move and I'll make money. But it's just, if you have the confidence to get stopped out and then re-enter once you have the conviction for it, right? It's all just has to do with playing to your cards. What are you comfortable with doing? So with me, I'm fine with entering, getting stopped, and then re-entering back into a position if the conviction is met for it. But some people would just rather have a loose stop and then enter once and just hold it, you know? So it all just really depends on how you trade. And again, my job as a mentor, me, Johnny, DJ, our job is not to force a way onto you. Our job is to show you the different ways that we trade, me, Johnny, DJ, because we all trade a little bit differently, but we're all successful, right? And it's to show you different habits that you can now adjust onto your trading to figure out what works the best for you, right? Because every trader is different. Everybody's going to work differently. Yeah, there is no one right way. Can you check, please? It's today at 1:30 and Q entered the stop raid. We had a bullish order flow, was confident draw, was still higher. Power 3. Yeah, you sniped this, brother. You sniped this. Again, good risk on this. You have the SMT at the low. Once you saw hesitation to go lower, this isn't bad. If I'm looking to take this entry though, I'm waiting for this candle. Once this high gets broken through, I'll enter in long. Right here, again, a little bit early for me, but if you're trying to catch the soup, that's fine. And if you have good risk and conviction for it, that's fine. Me personally, I'll wait for this high to get ran through, and then I'll enter back in, or I'll enter in long. When you mark out, let's say, a 3-minute fair value gap and you need it to get respected, do you look on the 3-minute chart for candle closes, or do you look for candle closes on 15, 30-second? No, 3-minute. Great question. So I will look at lower time frames to see how the lower time frames are respecting that, but I am not using the lower time frames as an answer to what I'm looking for. If I'm looking for, if I'm looking at a 5-minute and I'm looking for the 5-minute to get respected or disrespected, I'll zoom into a smaller time frame, but I am not going to be shaken up if I see the one, or if I'm on a 5-minute time frame and I see the 15 seconds starting to, slip below it, because that doesn't mean anything, right? We can still slip below the imbalance and still hold the imbalance on a bigger time frame. So don't get too flustered when you see that on a smaller time frame. So great question. If I'm looking for a 5-minute to hold, I'm waiting for the 5-minute to close. But if we get displacement out of it on a smaller time frame, that is what I need. I'll take that as my answer because it's in favor of the draw and it makes more sense and I'm more confident with it. If that makes sense. Yes, you can take volume imbalance as entries. Soup is just SMT. Yep. All right, let's talk about what we're looking at going into tomorrow here. We'll clean up the charts a bit. Actually, let me... All right. So, going into tomorrow, I am pretty bullish. Now, again, like I discussed before in last night's charting session, this daily fair value gap has now gotten ran through. Again, everything that I wanted to see today to set us up for the rest of the week has kind of happened. We've came down, respected that inverse. We do have a super small daily fair value gap that is now open, so there is a possibility for us to rebalance into that. But we are holding a 4 hour. We are holding a 1 hour. This, to me, looks like we'll have an expansion move higher. So that is what I'm expecting going into tomorrow. I want to see another expansion move to the upside to target this internal high and then this next high, right? Looking at the daily, to me, this looks like now that we've ran through this, this should now hold as an inverse. We should see a pretty straight move to these next highs. So I'm looking for the next couple days to be some pretty trendy days, or at least to see some good bullish action. Now, depending on what happens tomorrow, if we do end up selling tomorrow, again, I don't know what's going to happen. I just have a bias, but I'm not going to marry that bias. If we do end up selling tomorrow, I am, depending on what kind of structure we get, if we, for example, if we break through this imbalance and we start to really sell back off, I'll look for this low to be taken. But again, now that this low is taken, I don't really see us coming back here once we've had this displacement. I think this high is going to get taken before this low. So I'm pretty bullish going into tomorrow. I'm going to be looking for the internal structure. What would I like to be seeing? Again, right now on the 15-minute, I'm going to mark out my internal levels. So what I would want to see, potentially come down, maybe sweep this sell side level, depending on what, again, it all just really depends on what happens in the overnight session. But maybe come back, sweep this and then get, long to target those highs. That is a possibility as well. So again, I need internal structure to take a long position. I'm not just going to jump in long if I think I'm bullish, right? I need more structure. So right now, no touchy. We'll see what happens in the overnight session, but I am bullish going into tomorrow and the rest of the week. If we do end up breaking down in this imbalance, I will expect us to go. Let me mark out this. We have a super small little daily fair value gap here, which we could definitely possibly come back into. So do keep that in mind as well. And that's pretty much it. Any questions? Oh yeah, let's take a look at news. I'm pretty sure we have CPI tomorrow. Yeah, we got CPI in the morning. Again, not really. I trade CPI days. I'm not really too worried about CPI, especially when it's 8:30. So we should be chilling tomorrow. Yes, I am trading tomorrow. Volume imbalance is just another PD array. So volume imbalance is just a gap in price. So let me find one right here. This is a volume imbalance. Volume imbalance is when we have a gap in the candles. So when we have a big gap like this, because price is moving very volatile, it will create a volume imbalance like this. And this can be used as entries. So again, if I'm bearish or I'm looking for a fair value gap for an entry, right? Again, this isn't just oh my God, I see a volume imbalance, let me enter off this. There's context, right? Just like we would take a trade off of a fair value gap, once we get structure and once we get a model, you can take trades off of a volume imbalance. Just like this, we came back, ended up respecting this, selling back off, take new lows, right? So this is what a volume imbalance looks like. Much love, Mike. Have a good one, brother. Yeah, I'll start to, Steven. All right, any last questions before we end the session? Much love, Demon. Have a good one, brother. There's a bearish 4-hour fair value gap September 13 that is respected today. Again, I'm not worried about this big 4-hour imbalance. Oh yeah, let me just cover this real quick before we end the session. Me and DJ and Johnny and all of the people that are here spending our time that want to help people, that want to teach through our experience, through our knowledge. If you take advantage of us or disrespect any person in the chat, a fellow member, a fellow teammate, me, Johnny, DJ, we are no longer putting up with that shit. When we see dumb shit in the chat throughout the day of people spamming emojis, saying disrespectful shit to one another, saying racist remarks to other people, you are out of here. Out of here. Without a refund, without a single message, without a single invite, without a single DM, without nothing. You are fucking gone. And we're not putting up with that shit anymore. This isn't some Discord for you to post a bunch of shit. This isn't goddamn. If you want to go post a bunch of, dumb shit, go to TJR, go to someone else's community, not ours. This is for people who want to learn, who want to put in the time, who want to have a respectful community. This is where I'm not here. This isn't fucking kindergarten. Me and other people are not going to here to hold your hand. If you blow up and start disrespecting other people, you're fucking gone. This is a place for mature people, mature traders that want to grow as a team, that want to help each other out, that want to boost each other out. This is the best community. Hands down. This is the best community. So start treating it like it. Take care of one another. This is a fucking team, baby. Every single day we show up to the market. We're helping each other out. We're answering questions. We're boosting each other up, not pushing each other down. Why are you pushing each other down? When I see other people pushing each other down, that's all. The only thing I think about is, wow, you're pushing each other down because you're fucking upset that this guy's doing better than you and you just don't want to admit it because you're insecure. This is not a place of insecurity. This is a place of helping each other out, boosting each other up, and becoming a stronger and better team as a whole. Trust me, we love this fucking community. We have so many plans for us. We are going to grow so much. But again, we're siphoning out the bad ones. We are. And again, guys, please, I'm not saying we can't have fun. I'm not saying we can't, joke off here and there. But when it's market hours and when it's trading and when people are focusing and we're talking, I don't want to see people spamming a bunch of GIFs in the trading chat or spamming a bunch of dumb shit, right? Come on, just keep it clean. That's all I'm asking. And you guys know what's clean and what's not clean, all right? All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your night. I love you guys. Get some rest. I will see you all tomorrow morning. All right, guys. Peace out. I'll see you then.